Today on Investigate TV Plus, children shouldn't have to worry where their next meal will come from, but it's a reality for millions of kids in the United States. I'm T. Chappelle.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Today, an in-depth look at student hunger and its costly ripple effect.
Think of the price of not making sure that our children are nourished and ready to learn.
We reveal a potential solution that some states are already adopting.
Plus, buyer beware, how scammers are using social media to rip off unsuspecting customers.
I'm frustrated, but I want it to stop to where nobody else will have the same problem.
We'll show you how to spot the red flags yourself.
And a reminder,
he made it to about Christmas and he started deteriorating.
That miracles come in many forms.
When did you get the news?
2 of the transplant team doctors came in. They said, "There's a heart available." And I was speechless.
A special journey that united 2 families. In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus. Schools across the United States are facing a crisis when it comes to feeding students.
During the pandemic, every public school student could get free meals in their cafeteria.
That's ended, and now parents in some districts are struggling to afford the expense. It's estimated nationwide that unpaid student meal debt is more than $19 million. And that's a conservative estimate from the School Nutrition Association. Reporter Kristen Crowley shows us the growing problem, the rising costs, and the push for free lunches to return.
This is very important.
High school freshman DeJuan Strickland doesn't worry about where his next meal will come from, but he remembers a time when he did.
I was very hungry and it was hard to go through school that day because I had nothing to eat.
In 4th grade, when it was time for lunch, his plate of food was taken away.
My lunch balance hit 0, so I didn't have enough money to eat lunch that day. And that kind of really stuck with me because I had to sit at a table and watch other kids eat their lunch, and I couldn't eat lunch myself.
So you just sat at a table with no food in front of you?
Yeah.
As he got older, he couldn't shake the memory of going through the school day hungry. So he started a GoFundMe page to pay off student lunch debts at his former St. Louis area elementary school.
The goal was $4,000, and we raised almost $10,000 to offset negative lunch balances at schools. It was actually enough to split it with 2 other schools.
His generosity and philanthropy saved students from feeling the same hunger and embarrassment he once felt.
It can start making an impact.
But DeJuan knows there are so many others not getting that help.
Among schools that have to charge for meals right now, 96% are reporting challenges with unpaid meal debt, and about 2/3 report significant challenges.
Diane Pratt-Heavner is spokesperson for the School Nutrition Association. The nonprofit survey of more than 1,000 school nutrition directors across the country found school meal debt is more than $19 million. And growing.
What is your group seeing nationwide when it comes to this issue?
Unfortunately, we've seen a dramatic increase in unpaid meal debt as a result of the end of federal pandemic waivers that allowed all schools to offer free meals to all students.
Those waivers made in-school meals free for all public students, a benefit that ended in the 2022-2023 school year. Pratt-Heavner says inflation, coupled with stagnant or lost wages, has made the expense impossible for even middle-class families.
What was student lunch debt like before the pandemic?
Basically, we would see maybe $19,000 for an entire year.
For the whole district?
For the whole district.
Lori Dinella, the nutrition director for Lee's Summit Schools in Missouri, says the debt for its 25 buildings this year?
We're right at $10,000, and we've been in school for 10 days, so we're accumulating about $1,000 worth of debt a day.
So in theory, it could be $172,000 in debt by the time the year's over.
Yes.
A lunch for its elementary schools is $2.90. For its middle and high schools, $3.10. But Danella says even though that's relatively affordable, many families struggle to pay it.
They have their mortgage, their rent, gas has increased, groceries has increased. So basically school meals have been put on the back burner so they could pay their other bills first.
Lee's Summit says it will never deny a child a meal, and it won't hold the debt against them if they can't repay it. But that comes at a cost to the district, which has to cover whatever is left. Brett Heavner says many districts are carrying that burden.
Trying to find donations in their community to help cover the cost, and then even cutting into school district funds intended for education.
That's why the School Nutrition Association is pushing Congress to bring back free meals for all public school students for good. But the issue is divisive. Democrats in Congress have tried to bring back universal school meals permanently, but as of late 2023, the bill has no Republican co-sponsors. The Republicans' budget proposal wants to eliminate free meals for all students, saying school lunch and breakfast programs are subject to widespread fraud. If it doesn't happen on a federal level, each state could make the move. So far, 8 of them have: California, Maine, Minnesota, New Mexico, Colorado, Vermont, Michigan, and Massachusetts. It's a change lawmaker Brian Seitz of Missouri wants to see happen, and he is an unlikely advocate for the measure.
I think they found it unusual because I am a fiscal conservative, but this has something to do with children.
Representative Seitz is a Republican in a heavily Republican state. He drafted a proposal for universal free meals in Missouri that never made it to committee, but he vows to try again.
If kids can receive a better education, the test scores would improve, that's great for the whole state, and I think it's something that we can do. Now we just have to convince fellow lawmakers that there is a need.
DeJuan doesn't need any convincing.
I'm hoping with a nonprofit organization we can do this more and more often.
He's continuing efforts to raise money for students, even if lawmakers won't, because he says in the end, children are the ones paying the price.
They can't help it. They don't have like a job that they're paying, like they can pay it off and stuff. They have to rely like on their parents. So as a kid, you're just kind of like really stuck there, and that's not a feeling that any kid should be experiencing at all.
Right now, families with certain income levels can qualify for free or reduced meals at school. But Danella says in her district, many who are struggling to make ends meet don't qualify because the guidelines say they make too much money. She encourages people to call their local legislators and voice their concerns for feeding children.
But the need doesn't stop at the end of the school year. From Virginia to Hawaii and many places in between, we found school districts teaming up with national and local nonprofits to feed children during the summer.
Sometimes in the summer, parents are working all year round, and we have children who are older and home alone and could use some meals, so they're welcome to come out. Sometimes there's families who could benefit from having the free meals available to them.
To find a summer meal program near you, head to the U.S. Food and Nutrition Services website at fns.usda.gov/meals4kids.
Still ahead, social media marketplace listings that look legit but are one big scam.
Somebody needs to hear it because other people will fall for it.
How you can protect your account and your money.
Plus, a story of 2 little lives connected by one heart.
It was the perfect timing. I don't know if he would have waited much longer.
The unbreakable bond these babies share. Sandy Mueller didn't know it at the time. Her son Alex would be a giver.
Where do I even start? He lived life to the fullest. He was very much into the outdoors. He loved to hunt and fish. He was a huge athlete from the time he was 5.
In May 2023, just 16 at the time, Alex was out with some friends when suddenly tragedy struck.
I guess he was crossing the road, stumbled into the road. We don't know, but someone hit him.
Rushed to the hospital, Alex died days later after his family made the difficult decision to take him off life support. That's when they also decided he would give some final gifts.
if we can save somebody else's life by donating, then we're going to try it. He passed away at 5:47, and by 11 o'clock, he'd already saved 5 lives.
According to Donate Life America, more than 100,000 people are waiting for a life-saving organ transplant, and patients may wait anywhere from a few months to many years for that donation.
He touched a lot of lives, not just here in Rainier, but in the surrounding areas too. He just loved people. He had a heart of gold.
Alex's story is one of many where lives are forever changed. Baby Mark Jr. is also a story you won't soon forget.
Yeah, reporter Amanda Harris shows us how he is able to live thanks to a little girl's beating heart.
Huh, buddy? He came out and he cried, and I was joyful that he made it here.
Who's that cute boy? As quickly as a new life begins,
He started getting sick.
the universe reminds you it can end just as fast.
His left side of his heart did not grow properly.
The time was ticking.
Yeah.
Patience Klaus realized time was running out for her son, Mark Jr.
He made it to about Christmas, and he started deteriorating.
For 9 months, Mark lived in limbo between life and death at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, waiting.
Organ donation. They said that was his only chance.
Mark needed a new heart. Denise Fargo doesn't just walk with grief. She carries it with her just about everywhere she goes.
This is my baby Lena in her little urn. My heart is broken.
When did you know that something was wrong with Lena?
And Lena started throwing up without a fever, and then she just went limp in my arms. And I gave her CPR. I gave her breath all the way to Corbin Hospital. I never stopped breathing for my baby.
A shunt that was supposed to be flushing spinal fluid off of Lena's brain stopped working, and just months before her second birthday, Lena was declared brain dead.
I didn't want to let her go.
And so she didn't. Instead,
they let me lay in the bed with Lena and hold her all the way down.
She held on by giving part of Lena to someone else.
The surgical team was there to fly Lena's heart.
It turns out Mark Jr. was that someone else.
When did you get the news?
2 of the transplant team doctors came in. They said, there's a heart available. And I was speechless. It was the perfect timing. I don't know if he would have waited much longer.
I'm so excited to see him.
The 2 families haven't met.
Then the destination is on the right.
Until now.
My precious baby, can I hold you? Can I feel your little heart beating?
Both mothers say they're right where they should be, in each other's arms.
Oh, thank you so much. This is God's little miracle. He's just so precious.
Lena didn't just save Mark Jr.
When Lena was in the hospital and her brain went to sleep, I got to feeling like I was having a heart attack.
As Lena was dying, doctors rushed her mother to another floor where blood work found cancer. Doctors say they caught it early.
Lena saved your life.
Yes, she did. Lena's our little hero.
In a way, Mark is a hero too. He's now the keeper of Lena's heart.
Mark's alive because of Lena, but Lena's heart is beating because of Mark. It's a precious gift to know that my baby's still alive.
We're all family now. We're all tied together.
Lena's family wants more awareness about how to care for a child with hydrocephalus and a shunt. 40% of shunts fail in kids within the first 2 years. Cincinnati Children's Hospital says unusual vomiting, sleepiness, and seizures are all warning signs of a shunt malfunction. In Nashville, I'm Amanda Harris.
That was such an amazing story. So Lena's heart actually saved 2 lives. The little boy will go on, and so will her mom, knowing that her heart's still beating.
That was just an incredible part of the story, that the mom found out cancer in the hospital, and that heart is still beating.
Yes.
Such a powerful story. Still ahead on Investigate TV Plus, when it comes to driving a big rig, some take it a bridge too far.
It's been clonked, donked. There's always some guy that thinks he's going to make it.
How an artist's reimagining of an infamous bridge is getting a lot of reaction.
Plus, he wanted a toolbox.
It was my birthday, and I thought, well, I'd really like to have them for my birthday present to me.
But instead, he learned a costly lesson.
And I'm out of the money, no toolboxes, no nothing.
How this man got scammed out of a purchase on Facebook Marketplace, and how you can avoid the same fate.
If you've ever searched on Facebook Marketplace for deals on furniture and electronics, you are not alone.
Yeah, according to Tech Report, 1 billion people use Facebook Marketplace each month.
And if you've ever spotted a deal that's too good to be true, that's because experts say it probably is.
Reporter Haley Tucker explains what to look out for so you don't get scammed.
And you click on to the toolboxes, it pops up as a Lowe's toolbox.
Scrolling on Facebook, Larry Utes saw an ad for toolboxes for a very discounted price.
It was my birthday, and I thought, well, I'd really like to have them for my birthday present to me.
Typically $600, $700, $800, these toolboxes, supposedly from Lowe's, now are under $100. Larry bought 2 and immediately started seeing charges for other things.
And then a hair vite, cap, snow something, a bug something.
And you don't know what any of these are?
No, I've never heard of them before until now.
Here's what happens. Scammers make fake websites like these and advertise them on Facebook. This site looks legit. Larry says it even has links at the bottom to Lowe's policies, which made him think the site is legit. But look at the URL. It's nowhere close to Lowe's.com. As soon as Larry put his credit card information on the site, the scammer had control and stole hundreds of dollars.
And I'm out of the money, no toolboxes, no nothing. And I thought, well, somebody needs to hear it, because other people will fall for it. I'm frustrated, but I want it to stop to where nobody else will have the same problem.
Be wary of Facebook ads. If the URL is not the same as what it claims, it most likely is a scam. And if prices are very discounted, again, it's most likely a scam.
We reached out to Facebook and Lowe's about the posting. We have yet to hear back. If you see something you think is a scam, Facebook says you should stop communicating with the buyer or seller. It also says you should report the post by clicking on the 3 dots next to it and hitting report.
Still ahead on Investigate TV Plus, despite all the signs, there's a bridge that just can't get a break.
Northeast part of Kansas City, it's their version of America's Funniest Home Videos.
How this artist turned a part of local lore into a masterpiece.
They think they can fit, and they get stuck, looking like Chuck.
A Kansas City bridge is known for winning a game truck drivers don't even know they're playing until it's too late. The Independence Avenue Bridge has a clearance of just 12 feet. On average, semi-trucks are 13.5 feet tall. The standard bridge height is now 16 feet, but that wasn't established until 2005. The Independence Bridge was built back in 1912. When a Kansas City artist decided to pay homage to the popular bridge, he didn't get the reaction he expected.
Reporter Sharon Chen shows us how this creation is getting a lot of attention.
A Kansas City bridge that stood the test of time, and we really mean test.
Northeast part of Kansas City, it's their version of America's Funniest Home Videos.
Truck after truck, torn apart by the Independence Avenue Bridge.
Feed me.
And now immortalized by Kansas City artist Thomas Giesecke.
It's the Independence Avenue Bridge.
A bridge built in 1912, standing 12 feet tall, which was the average semi-trailer height back then. Now, trucks have grown a little taller, and so you can see the problem. Since 2020, the bridge has been hit nearly 40 times.
It's been clonked, donked. There's always some guy that thinks he's going to make it.
And therein lies the inspiration behind Giesecke's piece.
I love painting monsters.
And so the bridge became one.
It's an abstraction of the bridge. I think my whole brain is infected with silliness, so.
Well, that silliness was a hit. Giesecke posts each of his creations on social media, and normally response is minimal.
This thing gets 3,100 shares and over 700 likes.
Giesecke says over the years he's sketched it a few times.
And I throw them into what I call the idea pit. Little scribbles of things, you know.
But this was the first time he put oil to canvas.
And I couldn't believe the attention that it's getting.
And the rest is, well, history.
I thought, you know, that this was going to be like a little throwaway piece and that'd be the end of it.
And that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching.
Next time on Investigate TV Plus, a mother with nowhere to turn after she says her son with special needs was brutally bullied.
Jack to them, I think, is a number and a case and not a person. Otherwise, someone would have paid more attention sooner.
We reveal her fight in an in-depth look at challenges some parents of disabled children face when it comes to childcare.